Hello friends, I'm Snigdha Kakkar and this is my YouTube channel Accelerate.ai Careers. This is the fifth chapter to my complete playlist for Generative AI and third chapter to my NLP playlist. This playlist is targeted to help you start at a beginner's level in Generative AI, become acquainted with the theoretical as well as practical concepts in this field, and get hands-on experience in the projects in parallel. In the last session, we covered tokenization. In today's session, we will cover two important text pre-processing techniques, which are stemming and lemmatization. If you like my lessons, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you feel that I should prioritize some other topics, mention them in the comments. Let us begin our journey together. Now, what is stemming? The Wikipedia definition states that it is a process in which we reduce a word to its word stem, which affixes to suffixes and prefixes or to the roots of words known as lemma. Let us take a look at it with an example. Suppose we have a use case in which we have to designate a Twitter comment as positive, negative, or neutral comment. Now, the sample words in the comment are using, coding, used, coded, uses, codes, usage. And if we extract stem words out of these or the root words out of these would be use or code. Why do we need stemming at all? Why is it important? As you know, we are going to convert these words from corpus into vectors in the next stage. Then why should we have so many similar words such as using, used, usage, uses, etc.? Or coding, coded, code, etc. We can have a single root word which is used. So there is another technique called lemmatization which we will explore in this video later on. But we'll first explore stemming hands-on to get more acquainted with different kind of stemming functions used. What is the advantage of one kind of stemming over another? And post that we will compare it with lemmatization. So let us get hands-on with stemming. Please open your Jupyter notebooks along with me and follow the steps alongside. I will share the Jupyter notebook GitHub link here in the video. You can use that as well. So now let's implement stemming hands-on. I hope you have your Jupyter notebooks opened. So we'll start with a new notebook here just for stemming. And we look at different kind of stemming. What are the advantages? How do they work? What are the disadvantages? Which one is better, whether stemming is better or lemmatization is better. So we'll go with that. Let's take a set of words here. So the set of words which I have taken are a drawing, draws, drew, codes, coded, coding, writing, writes, wrote, written, using, uses, and so on. So you can see those words here just in the below cell. I have printed those words. So I've taken all these words. Now let's try out the first kind of stemming, which is Porter stemmer. So in Porter stemmer, you can just import it from nltk.stem and then instantiate the object. Once you have instantiated, we'll be running a for loop across the words list so that each word is stemmed, and we'll be printing the stemmed word alongside the word in this format as shown here. So if you could see that for some words it is doing a great job, like for drawing it shortens it to draw, which makes sense. For codes to code, for coding to code, writes to write. But do you see that for wrote it keeps wrote as such, written it keeps it written as such. For using, uses, used, everything it's been shortened to use. But if you see, it does a very bad job for history. It just changes it to a meaningless word, history. Geography, again a meaningless word there. For finality, finally, finalized, everything it reduces to final. Again, if you see another word, graduation, it generates a meaningless word, graduate. And for congratulations, it generates a meaningless word called congratulate. So even though it reduces the word to its root or to its stem, it doesn't always generate the meaningful word. Now let's look at another kind of stemming, which is regular expression stemmer, regex stemmer, imported from the nltk.stem and instantiated. When you are instantializing it, if you just instantiate it without any parameters, you will get an error. So you have to provide the regular expression there and minimum length. The minimum length means it will only stem if the minimum length is 4 or whatever you provide. And the regular expression, what it means is ing dollar means if in the end of the word it's ing. S dollar means if in the end of the word it's S, then it stems. E dollar means if in the end it's E. Able dollar means if there is able in the end. So let's look at some examples here. So regular stemming to stem and new stem coding. So it stems coding to code, even though it is a meaningless word, but you can customize it. For reading, it stems to read. So we'll run the same loop on words list before, and see how it is different from Porter stemmer. So like Porter stemmer, it does successfully for drawing, draws, drew, coding, coded, codes, etc. The change which I see is for wrote, it shortens it as well to a meaningless word. For using, uses, it shortens them. For used, it doesn't shorten. And if you see the places where Porter stemmer was failing, like history, geography, finality, finally, it is doing a great job here. If you see for graduation and congratulations, it is doing a good job. It is reducing them to a meaningful word rather than a meaningless word as it was doing in Porter stemmer. Now let us look at a better stemmer class, which is snowball stemmer. It is better than Porter stemmer. Let's see how. So when you instantiate snowball stemmer, you need to provide the language you want to stem in. So you could choose Arabic, Hindi, Sanskrit, any language, but right now we are choosing English. And again, we run the for loop for the words and see what's the difference. If you see it is still doing a bad job for history, geography, gratitude, congratulations, similar as Porter stemmer, then how it is different? How? So for these particular list of words, it is performing almost equal to Porter stemmer. So then why did I say that it's better? So let's look at some other examples. Say suppose we have a word called knowingly. And for that, if we call Porter stemmer, it generates the meaningless word knowingly here. But if we call snowball stemmer, it generates a meaningful stem called no. Similarly, for another word fairly, the Porter stemmer does a bad job generating fairly here, whereas snowball stemmer generates a correct stem, which is fair. Now let us look at an example where both of them fail. For example, does. For does, if you apply Porter stemmer, it generates do. And if you apply snowball stemmer, it generates do again, which is meaningless word, right? So for such cases, you would like to use lemmatization because lemmatization has a complete vocabulary within and it doesn't reduce the word to its root word, which does not have a meaning. It reduces to a meaningful root word. So we'll move towards lemmatization next. So far, we have looked into stemming and its hands-on applications as well, some of its drawbacks. Now let us look at the next text pre-processing technique, which is lemmatization. It is quite similar to stemming, but it overcomes some of its drawbacks here. So right in stemming, it produces the root word called stem, which might make sense sometimes, which might not make sense sometimes. Whereas lemmatization reduces the actual word to a root word called lemma, which always makes sense. It is always meaningful. It's a valid word. And it does not change the meaning of the actual word. We will be using WordNet Lemmatizer for its practical implementation here, which uses WordNet Corpus Reader class to find the lemma. So let's open our Jupyter notebooks here and do hands-on learning for lemmatization. So let's do hands-on learning for lemmatization. We'll be using WordNet Lemmatization here. The WordNet Lemmatizer, which is actually a thin wrapper around the WordNet corpus. It uses a class morphe function to the WordNet corpus reader class to find the lemma. Some of the interesting use cases for lemmatization are text summarization, question and answering, and chatbot assistant. So let's see how it's done. So some of you might face certain errors while importing WordNet Lemmatizer. For that, you need to import an LTK and download WordNet. Sometimes it doesn't come with the package. So once you have run this cell, it will be error-free. Then you can import WordNet Lemmatizer from nltk.stem. Then instantiate the WordNet Lemmatizer object. Once you have instantialized that, then you can pass on the word of your choice. If you see that when I pass eating word here, it actually produces eating only as a result. So you would say that's a bad result it has given because it should be eat, like it was there with the stemming. Underneath, there are two parameters which are entered in lemmatizer.lemmatize. One of them is the actual word for which you want to produce the lemma. The other is the pause tag. That pause tag by default is n, which is a noun. There are other kind of pause tags as well, a v for verb, adjective, and r for adverb. So let's look into it. Say suppose I give pause tag as v. In that case, the lemmatizer.lemmatize generates eat, which is correct. Same way we can try for different words. Let's take the same list of words which was there for stemming. I have printed it here so that you can see which all words I have taken. And let's try it by default by noun. So if I give pause tag as noun here, then you can see the results are almost similar to stemming, but it is corrected here for history, geography, finality, and finally, for which it was incorrect during stemming. Same for congratulations and graduation. For stemming, all these led to bad words which didn't make any sense, they were meaningless. But here it gives good results. But again, we can make the results better if, say, we experiment with pause tag as adjective. In that case also the result remains almost the same because most of them of these words are verbs. So let's give the pause tag as verb be. If you give the pause tag as verb, you would see that all the versions of drawing, draws, drew, etc. gets reduced to draw. Similarly, all the versions of writing, writes, wrote, written gets reduced to write, and your result gets corrected for most of them. Now let's try it out for certain words for which stemming failed. So you remember for does word, the stemming produced results as do, which was a meaningless word. But with lemmatization, you get the actual word do. Similarly, for fairly, you get the result fairly, which makes sense. For knowingly, you get the result knowingly with the y, which is meaningful. Whereas for stemming, you were getting the result as knowingly with an I, which is a meaningless word. So you can say that lemmatization produces better results. However, what do you think? Which will take more time to find the corresponding root word, find the corresponding stem or lemma? Wordnet lemmatizer or any kind of stemming? Provide answers in the comments in this video and I'll provide you the explanation in the next video. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you like the videos. It encourages me to make similar content. In the next set of videos, we'll be looking at other text preprocessing techniques used in NLP. Thank you.